Mitochondria are commonly known as the powerhouse of cells because they're able to supply ATP, which can then be broken down to create energy. Some cells, such as muscles, require a lot of energy and may have thousands of mitochondria, whereas others that do not need energy and work on diffusion, such as neurons, don't have any mitochondria. When mitochondria are required, they live freely in the cytoplasm and are surrounded by a double membrane. There is a theory called symbiogenesis, which states that all eukaryotes, animals and plants, once evolved from prokaryotes such as bacteria. The theory is formed on the basis that many organelles within the cells of eukaryotes have their own membrane. They think that each organelle with their own membrane was once its own cell and was absorbed over time to form a symbiotic relationship with the cell. The word symbiosis refers to a relationship between two organisms in which both parties give and take. In the case of a cell and its mitochondria, in return for the cell providing the mitochondria with nutrients, the mitochondria then supplies the cell with energy that it can use to grow. But anyway, back to the mitochondrial structure. As with all organelles and organisms, evolution has allowed them to be perfectly designed for their function. The double membrane consists of an outer membrane, which covers the cell and gives it the round shape, and the inner membrane, which is the squiggly membrane which folds over many times to create structures known as cristae. The folding of the membrane increases the surface area of the organelle and increases the surface area available for proton transfer, which is required to make energy. The higher the surface area, the more energy that can be made. The inside of a mitochondria has its own fluid, kind of like the cytoplasm of a cell, known as the matrix. Within the matrix are the mitochondria's own ribosomes and DNA. It's beginning to sound more and more like its own cell, isn't it? Hence the symbiogenesis theory. So how does it work? How does it create our energy? Well, it takes the glycogen that you take in from your food and uses the water and enzymes in the matrix, as well as the inner membrane, to make ATP and water, which is released as a byproduct. This process is called respiration. The formula for aerobic respiration is glucose plus oxygen gives you carbon dioxide and water, and energy as a byproduct. All organisms have a mitochondria, but only plants have another double membrane-bound organelle called chloroplasts, which it uses in photosynthesis. Unlike us, plants don't ingest their food for nutrients, unless of course you count the Venus flytraps and the pitcher plants. This means they have to convert energy from the sun into food. You can consider it to be working in the opposite direction of mitochondria, which take food and make energy. In terms of structure, they have an outer and inner membrane, just like the mitochondria. The stacks that you can see within the chloroplasts are made up of thylakoids. Each stack is called a granum. More than one granum are known as a grainer. The liquid is the stroma. The stalks connecting the grainer are called the stromal lamellae, which act as the skeleton of the chloroplast. On top of the grainer sit the chlorophyll molecules. It's these molecules which give the chloroplasts, and in turn their leaves and stems, their green colour. The light energy is caught by the chlorophyll and transferred to the stroma, where the carbon molecules that make up molecules such as glucose are made. There are many thylakoids to increase the surface area and increase the amount of chlorophyll and thus increase the amount of light energy that is captured. The formula for photosynthesis is CO2 plus water gives glucose plus oxygen. Since respiration and photosynthesis are essentially the reverse of one another, you can see that plants give the reactants needed for respiration and animals give the reactants needed for photosynthesis. We need the plants to live and the plants need us to live. And that's a basic outline of the mitochondria and the chloroplast structure and function. Please subscribe and comment down below for anything else you'd like me to teach you, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!